The Denver Broncos have made a change at head coach. They have fired head coach Vic Fangio after 3 seasons with the team. The team lost to Kansas City yesterday by 4 points, and in a season where they were somehow in the playoff hunt, in the mix of things up until a few weeks ago, a lot of people thought that maybe that would have saved Vic Fangio's job. But if you look at this man and what he's done or hasn't really been able to do over the past few seasons, that is get them over the edge. 7-9 his first year, 5-11 the following year, and then a disappointing 7-10 year in a year where they had one of the best scoring defenses in the league. This is a team that was not giving up a lot of points, and a lot of that is due to Vic Fangio. But I think this move, getting rid of Vic Fangio, comes at a time where the team is looking to shift its philosophy, because they have, unfortunately for the Broncos, I think Vic Fangio has been able to establish a culture on the defense. He was able to establish and I think build on a culture that was kind of already there, but he was able to, again, build on that culture of we're not going to let anyone beat us, like by running the ball down our throats. We're going to play tough, and we're not going to give up a lot of points. And they were successfully able to do that. But I do think that, I know that the Broncos were not happy with the results they got from offense, especially since they drafted a bunch of really good pieces on offense. You have Jerry Jeudy, you had Cortland Sutton, you have Noah Fant, and whether it was Teddy Bridgewater, whether it was, Drew Lock, whether it was whoever, it didn't matter who was playing the quarterback position, it seemed. It just looked like the offense was stagnant, and there wasn't an emphasis to fix that. There was never an emphasis on Vic Fangio's part, I believe, to fix the offensive woes, and I think that's, in part due to the fact that he is a defensive coordinator, and he played to the team's strengths and didn't necessarily maybe see the need to build on that. But we'll never know about that for sure. One thing we do know is I think the Broncos are 100% looking to change their philosophy. They want to go out there and find a guy who can mold their next quarterback. Whether it is Drew Lock, I doubt it. I don't think it's going to be Bridgewater either. He might actually be someone who's going to build that bridge, pardon the pun, to whoever the next person is. Whether it's someone they draft or get in free agency potentially. We'll talk about that a little later. But I think you want to make sure you have a guy who can either mesh with a veteran quarterback that you might try to go out there and get, or on the other hand, a guy who can come in there and mold a young quarterback and mold him to have success. And the one option for me that comes to mind immediately is Jim Caldwell. If you look at Jim Caldwell and what he was able to do in his career as an offensive coordinator, in his career as quarterbacks coach, in his career as a head coach, he was the offensive coordinator for Joe Flacco on his run to the Super Bowl. And that was one of the best runs in the history of pro football. And you also have what he did in Detroit. He is one of the only coaches who can say he's took Detroit to the playoffs, not once, but twice, and in 2 separate seasons. That is an accomplishment. And for whatever reason, he was let go, right? Well, we don't need to get too much into that, but he was let go, and now you're facing a situation with the Denver Broncos where you might want to bring a guy like that in who has been noted to have success, who's been noted to be a player's guy, who the players love to play for. That's going to be the perfect mix because you already have this foundation built on defense. You have the skill players in place. You just need to find a good quarterback who can be molded by your head coach. And I think Jim Caldwell might just be the guy to do that. Of course, there are other options that are going to come about over the next few weeks, I'm sure. Doug Pederson's name is probably going to be in the mix of things. Eric Bieniemy is going to be in the mix of things as well, the offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think rightfully so. I think all of those guys are basically what you want to look for. Doug Peterson's a guy, won a Super Bowl. He's led some good offenses in Philly. And you have another guy, Eric Bieniemy, who's been the offensive coordinator for Kansas City and for Pat Mahomes. So he kind of understands what it takes to help mold that guy as well. So I think those 3 are really good options. Personally, I would love to see Jim Caldwell get a chance. Doug Pederson as well. I mean, I think he was kind of run out of town in Philly unjustifiably after one, disappointing year, but I still think that the options are out there, but the Broncos have to go offense. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.